if you were to create your own 10-step program, let's say like
I don't like that stuff, dude.
the Caleb baby steps.
I don't like it. I hate one size fits all. Everything is a different person.
You think everything is super nuanced, but like
not super nuanced, but everything's going to apply to someone a little different.
Why can't you just do something to the broad demographic? Out of 10 million people, this is going to work for more than half.
I just think for the
helps.
viewers watching, like generally speaking, if they want some actionable structure that they can follow.
All right, let's think. Okay, 1 month emergency fund. 1 month emergency fund. Let's start there. Cover yourself for a month if anything goes wrong.
For your needs or needs plus wants?
No, fuck wants. Are you kidding me? No, we're cutting all the way down.
So
we're
this
cutting
is
down to
1 month
basic.
emergency fund, absolute needs.
Absolute needs.
Okay.
No. Unless the only time I've ever given a little bit of wants is if they have a big gap between their minimum needs and their bring in income. But usually most people, it's just like that gap is not large enough to justify wants. Okay, start there. 1 month emergency fund. Then this is where, again, it's going to be based on discipline, but either avalanche all your debts that are not in collections or owed to a person, or debt snowball your debt. So do smallest to largest if you need to see the little successes along the way to keep you more motivated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can be motivated all throughout, save the extra money in the end by doing the avalanche method.
Mm-hmm.
Then negotiate collections. I would negotiate collections from there, which is going to be a relentless, annoying, disgusting process. But to oversimplify it, let's just say you did that, cool. And then if you had the conversation with the people appropriately at the time, then pay your personal debts back, like if you owe your mom some money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if in the debt process your mom's like, no, I don't feel comfortable with waiting that long, then include them in the snowball or avalanche process. But I would hold that towards the end if it doesn't strain the relationship and if they give their consent on that. From there, I go 6 month emergency fund or 12 month if you're your own business. You know, if you're your own business, you may as well. I think it's more comfortable to do a 12 month emergency fund closer to what I have, where the average person 6 months. I wouldn't do 3 months because now we live in a world where a pandemic can exist randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, 6 months. From there, I usually do the 50-30-20, 50% on needs, 30% on wants, 20% on savings. It's going to be different where you live. New York, California, your needs are going to be a little higher because your housing is going to be a little higher. But I would be trying to hit minimum 20% on a monthly basis towards investing goals or saving for a home, wherever that is. Obviously, this is where it becomes, again, applicable to a different person. If you're 55, you have no retirement, a larger chunk is going to have to go to starting to save for retirement versus if you're 25 and you just got out of debt, fully funded emergency fund, and you need to start investing. So from there, it's kind of just 50-30-20 until you're retired. Then you're just living your dream.
It's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty concise.
Yeah. This is going to, it depends on your age. Depends on where you live. Depends on how disciplined you are through your debt paying journey. So there's nuances here and there.
Have you had any moments on the podcast that you thought were genuinely heartbreaking or like you felt a lot of internal sadness?
Yes. I don't know anyone's name. I know their face because I'm just bad with names. Barely even know your guys' name. Not true. But there was this girl who was taking care of her siblings like they were her own kids. And
I remember that episode, right?
yeah, they grew up in a situation where they didn't get anything, so she wanted to provide a lot, but she couldn't afford it in order to get out of her debt situation. So that absolutely destroyed me. And I paid for her Christmas so that they could have an actual Christmas. Something like that is brutal. When it involves kids, even though they're stinky and sticky, I still feel sad when, the relationship with their sister or parental figure is impacted by the overall situation. That breaks me every time. That kills me.
How's she doing?
Well, they had a good Christmas, and I'm being told that we're going to have a positive update with her within a couple months on the show, which I'm very excited about.
And what was the situation for those who haven't seen the episode?
The overall situation in terms of her and her relationship with their family, just a really bad household from her parents. So she adopted, whether legally or just bringing them on, her brothers and treated them like her kids. But just like everyone else on the show, she was in debt. She could barely afford to exist, but she wanted to give them the lives that they deserve. And I'm like, but we got to cut back so that they can eventually have the lives that they need to have, in terms of not growing up with their parental figure, always being stressed about money, not being able to pay bills, having to move a lot because you can't afford to stay in the place you're living in. We have to cut back and sacrifice now, which might mean they don't get the nicest clothes. It means they might not get a trip to Great Wolf Lodge, which was a big thing they like doing. They might not get to go out to eat all the time, which was like their escape away. Cutting back for the better future that they'll remember more later in life because they're younger, they're forming less core memories.
Yeah.
But that was really hard because they grew up in a really rough home, and she wanted to give them amazing life, and they deserve to have that amazing life. It's just they got to work for it, and so that's why I wanted to help her out for Christmas, and I'm excited to see her positive update if it's positive like I've been informed.
How would you say your mindset has changed from scarcity to abundance as you've acquired more wealth?
I've become more scared of retirement for some reason, more scared of being able to attain retirement. I don't know how. I've made more money than I've ever have in my life, but I feel like retirement is less likely somehow. For some reason, I don't know if because my retirement goals have gotten bigger, which they have gotten a little bit bigger. But I always felt like working the 9 to 5 felt more secure, and that I would eventually be able to retire, 59 and a half, something like that, if I invest correctly, put enough aside on a monthly basis. But now that I'm like running a team, I have an office, all this stuff, it's just like, oh my gosh, everything could collapse at any moment. I got to make sure I'm prepared and I can take care of people. And so there's a lot more anxiety surrounding that.
And how has your relationship with money in and of itself changed as you've like quote unquote got rich?
It hasn't really changed that much. I'm investing as much as I can, which is what I did before. My fun and crazy spending, on bullshit hasn't really increased. I'll go to a nicer restaurant every once in a while and bring the friends along with me. If one of them can't afford to pay for it, I will cover it because I want to experience that as a friend group, But in my money skills and my overall behavior has not changed.
Random off-topic question, but we took you to sushi.
Yeah.
Last time it was like your first time having sushi, right?
Very scary.
And you kind of enjoyed it?
Loved it. I've been back so many times.
You've been back. Have you gone to another sushi restaurant?
Yes.
And what's your overall
That makes me
sentiment
so
towards
happy
sushi?
to hear.
Oh, it's so good. Love it. Overall experience in sushi, man.
Awesome.
Dude, it's just so good.
Yeah, you were nervous. I
You were
remember.
horrified. You
As some
petrified.
background, we went to this place, and it was like the nicest sushi place, I believe, in Austin.
Uchi, yeah.
Uchi. And I went there, and just honestly, it was one of the best sushi places that I've been to in terms of quality, the type of fish that they had, the menu.
Mm-hmm.
And you were there, and you're like, I don't eat sushi. I don't eat
Scary.
anything raw, nothing. And I'm like, just try it.
I don't want the
Just-
poos.
Just try it. And you know what? You did it. You tried it.
Yeah.
You tried it. And what happened?
I liked it.
You liked it.
I was nervous
And it
all
was
night when I
good.
was in bed. I was like, is this
Yeah.
is something bad going to happen?
It makes you
Nothing
so
bad
happy.
happened. So I've been back there one more time, and then I've been to a couple other sushi restaurants as well. Took my team out after we finished the budgeting program that we worked so many hours on. We had a celebration dinner at their sister restaurant. It was really good. It's just fun to explore the different tastes that are on the menu that day, whatever fish they have, whatever the chef wants to prepare. So I wasn't a fancy restaurant person before that. So those have been my fancier restaurants where I've spent more money than I would like to spend, has been sushi.
If you've ever been denied a car loan, credit card, or even an apartment because of what's on your credit report, you are not alone. Most people don't even know what's hurting their credit score, let alone how to fix it. That is exactly where our sponsor Dispute Beast comes in. It's an AI-powered platform that helps you find and remove outdated or inaccurate items from your credit report fast.
We're talking things like late payments, old accounts and collections, or even accounts that don't belong to you. Not to mention, how it works is super easy. You connect your credit report, and Dispute Beast scans it for negative marks that could be dragging down your score. Then it generates custom dispute letters tailored for your situation, no templates and no guesswork.
You could choose to just download the data and send it to the agencies yourself, or you can use their built-in mail service where they will literally handle everything for you.
It's honestly just really clean and simple to use, and it's built by experts.
So if you're ready to take back control of your credit, go to disputebeast.com/ICH today. There's also a link down below in the description, disputebeast.com/ICH. Guys, they will literally handle everything for you. If you're dissatisfied with your credit, they will do all of the research, let you know what's going wrong, and they will fight for you. disputebeast.com/ICH. Thank you so much to Dispute Beast for sponsoring this clip.